Mona, you're being stubborn again, you know that? If you really want to leave now, then fine.
Mona, relax. You need to stand by your decision. Stop it. Don't think about that guy anymore. Oh,
Hey there, what's up, Miss Stubborn Wulalayao? Are you coming with me or not?
Why did you play hard to get?
come on. You don't even know what happened.
I was talking to my sister and not you.
Yes, right. I knew that.
Now that we're officially married, you have a new family who truly loves you.
Where's Leo?
I don't know.
Leo, help me.
Why? What happened?
At least now you'll come home to us, instead of you chasing after Lisa.
We got married.
I'm worried that Lisa's father will try to hurt us again.
I really appreciate you and Dad taking us in.
I am so glad that you and Cece are here. And Georgie.
Nice of the kid to make breakfast.
This is where you say, thank you, Georgie.
That ain't necessary.
See, that ain't necessary.
Got the baby down.
Listen to her snore.
You won't fool around.
Y'all left this on the coffee table.
Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, Fridays 8:35 p.m. on Warner TV.
Hello and welcome. This is Midday News. Thanks for joining us. NCD police are monitoring Garahu, Rainbow and Baroni areas following speculations that the displaced youths who were evicted from Baroni may launch retaliation on motorists and the public. According to police, no major attack has occurred since yesterday. However, the public must take precautions when moving in these areas. Meanwhile, NCD and Central Commander Benjamin Turi said the Baroni eviction was enforced following a court order. Students and teachers at Boreboa Primary School are starting the 2025 academic year with a major digital upgrade. BSB Life PNG has delivered a fully equipped e-library benefiting over 3,200 students and 56 teachers. BSB Life PNG country manager at the handover ceremony emphasized the power of education in shaping future leaders. The school administration called the e-library a game changer for learning. This initiative is part of BSB's ongoing commitment to education and community development, ensuring students have access to digital learning tools for a brighter future. Steamships Trading Company and Laba Holdings have officially launched Hibamo Transport Limited, a specialized landside logistics company to support the Papua LNG project. The 51-49 joint venture with Laba as the majority stakeholder follows 14 months of collaboration since signing an MOU at the 2023 Sydney Investment Conference. HDL will focus on heavy transport and project cargo logistics, ensuring efficient and reliable supply chain solutions. Laba Holdings CEO emphasized landowner participation, employment, and skills development, while the steamship's corporate affairs general manager highlighted the venture's role in enhancing local business engagement. With HDL now fully operational, it is poised to play a crucial role in the Papua LNG project construction phase and future major infrastructure projects across PNG. To news overseas, when police clashed with protesters at a mining conference in Melbourne in 2019, officers faced backlash over their handling of demonstrators as they attempt to make arrest. Almost 6 years later, on the first day of a class action trial representing those who were pepper sprayed, it's alleged police used excessive force when they deployed their capsicum spray. Their lawyers described the incident as total overreach.
This is the moment things turned ugly. Protesters capsicum sprayed as police attempted to arrest a pair who'd scaled 2 poles. Now, a class action representing dozens who say they were sprayed by police in October 2019 outside the International Mining and Resources Conference in Melbourne alleges the force used by officers as they tried to make those arrests was unlawful.
Police's use of OC spray, which is capsicum spray, was not proportionate and reasonable to the threat that they faced.
The lead plaintiff is filmmaker Jordan Brown. He's seeking damages, claiming he suffered physical and psychological harm when he was allegedly pushed, crushed and sprayed. His barrister, Fiona Forsyth Casey, told the court he wasn't engaging aggressively. He wasn't interfering with any arrest. He was just standing there.
If he is found to have suffered battery, then we're hoping that's part of the finding.
Body-worn vision of the incident was played to the court, some in the public gallery shaking their heads and comforting each other as the vision was shown. But lawyers for Victoria Police told the court Mr Brown was only sprayed directly once and wasn't assaulted by police. Sam Hay KC adding that Mr Brown actively resisted police attempts to apprehend the climber. The trial is expected to continue for more than 2 weeks, with police witnesses to be called on for evidence.
Experts say Victorians need to adjust their ideas of future coastal living as governments move to ban building in some seaside communities based on predictions of rising sea levels. And for those landowners who have already paid for coastal blocks, the new regulations are having an immediate financial impact.
When Henry Lewis and his wife used their super to buy a house block on Loch Sport's waterfront in 2016, they started planning their retirement.
We bought the property on the basis that we had approval already.
But before construction could begin, updated sea level forecasts resulted in new state government regulations about where houses could be built. His approval was cancelled and his retirement dream was dashed. The new regulations heavily impact the state's low-lying east coast and, in communities like Loch Sport, show the devastating impact future sea level rises could have on some seaside towns. But experts say this will be the new normal.
I don't think this is alarmist at all. I think they're probably taking a conservative estimate, if anything.
David Kennedy says Victorians need to change the way they think about coastal living.
We've got to prioritise our society and what our desires are for the coastline. Do we want an urban seawall type coast or do we want a natural environment? And we're going to have trade-offs. We're not going to be able to have both.
Towns like Loch Sport are already dealing with the new reality.
We've got maybe around 30 blocks for sale at the moment that are impacted by the flood overlay. No buyers looking at them.
While across Wellington Shire, more than 350 blocks are affected.
The challenge is you can be left with essentially a dead duck block of land, and that unfortunately happens when a lot of these planning changes come into play.
The state government says it's safeguarding Victorians by making sure new homes aren't built in places that put people at risk. But for Henry Lewis, who is still paying rates on a block he can't use or sell, the cost of climate change is all too real.
It basically means the land has zero value.
More jobs have been lost in Whyalla, with steelwork contractor telling up to 20 staff that the local business is closing. Australia's biggest steel manufacturer has extended an offer of help to the embattled Whyalla Steelworks.
Australia's largest steel manufacturer, offering a hand of support for Whyalla.
We're a steelmaker. I understand the challenges of being a steelmaker, and we stand ready to help if and when we're needed.
The Premier on the weekend met on the sidelines of Live Golf with BlueScope Steel's CEO Mark Vassella. Current Steelworks owner GFG owes tens of millions of dollars to private businesses and to the state government in the form of royalties.
Any interest of BlueScope in the Whyalla asset would have to be assessed at the time. I mean, it's currently owned by someone else, so it's hard to speculate on what the outcome for Whyalla might be.
When asked about the possibility of a government or BlueScope takeover of the Whyalla Steelworks, Mr Malinauskas indicated he'd prefer it to stay a private business.
Governments can't have a hands-off attitude, but we have to be doing it in collaboration, having a hands-on attitude in collaboration with the private sector.
The opposition is calling for the government to give some relief to local creditors.
What I would be more happy with is if the Premier came up with a way to get this $50 million that is sitting there and parked and getting some of that into the pockets of contractors and small business operators.
Mr Malinauskas says that money is set aside for an investment in the transformation of the steelworks to create green steel, and that creditors are owed money by Steelworks owner Sanjeev Gupta, not taxpayers.
The opposition is also moving to introduce an upper house select committee to probe the government's proposed $600 million hydrogen project, which has been thrown into doubt amid the crisis at the Whyalla Steelworks. The proposal would need crossbench support.
Back home in sports. Preparation for the National Women's Softball Train-On squad towards the Pacific Mini Games in Palau are progressing well and on schedule. The team trains 4 days a week, mainly focusing on both field and gym sessions under the PNG OC High Performance Program, while 2 players have pulled out of the Mosby squad due to work commitments. The girls are pushing hard to secure spots in the final squad of 17 players, which will be announced after a 1-week camp schedule in March 2025.
When providing an update on the team's training and progress so far, President of the PNG Basketball Softball Confederation, Jenny Park, said after a slow start to training, there's been a complete change in attitude and mindset, seeing the girls in high spirits and pushing themselves, which she says is quite pleasing.
The progress has been good for the team. They've got about, I think they do 4 in a week, 4 days of training, high performance, as well as the field work, and then they have a game on a Saturday, which is the actual normal competition, yeah. So it's like 5 days altogether out of 7 days, they're actually playing softball, yeah. Over 30 players so far, 2 have pulled out due to work commitment. And they're all looking forward now towards the camp that's going to come about next month from the 2nd to the 15th, of which the selection is going to be done to trim that number down to 17.
The president also revealed that from the initial 30 women's squad so far, 2 have pulled out, namely Lisa Pollum and Freda Piscout, mainly due to work commitments. The squad is now looking forward to the next stage of the vetting process, which is a 1-week camp scheduled for next month from the 2nd to the 15th of March, from where the final selection of 17 will be confirmed. Mrs. Park again highlighted the importance of high-performance training, a prerequisite to the final team. She said they have seen good progress in the girls' work ethic and commitment over the past weeks.
They were doing the testing now on Tuesday, the second testing for high performance. We hope to get good results from that because there's been a lot of commitment into high performance as opposed to the first time the high performance was done. With the actual the drills for the game itself, softball, the coaches and the trainers have been taking the ladies through that on 2 days in a week, and it has been going well. I mean, the ladies are very talented. It's just that they've got to balance the both in terms of high performance and field work for them to be the person to be selected to be in the final list for the mini games.
When giving a heads up on training for the other members of the squad in Kokopo and Kavieng, the president said the women have done their high performance testing a week ago, with the results already in. They have nominated coach Albert Seri to take charge of the Kokopo girls, while Joe Lomaris is in charge of training for the two members in Kavieng. Mrs. Perk again emphasized that the real testing will take place in Port Moresby when they come over for next month's camp. The Confederation is looking forward to the camp as well as finalizing the team with the best 17 selected for the games. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that ends the news update. Join us at 6 tonight for the main bulletin.